Well, we got one more wonderful, beautiful, warm afternoon. It's 81 degrees here in southern New England, which is 27 degrees Celsius for the rest of the world. So join me with a tasty beverage of your choice close to hand while we take a look at 2-year Hoya updates. And before we get underway, I'm happy to take this opportunity to send out a special thank you to Lily, who bought me coffees this past week, and to who sent me a super thanks. Your contributions are very much appreciated and go a long way to keeping me in Hoyas and infrastructure and technology. So thank you both very much for your support. And we've got another one getting ready to bloom this week. This is my Hoya cingulatus. And it's getting ready to pop some blossoms shortly. And with luck, by the time I get done editing this in a couple of days, this will have bloomed and I'll have some cingulatus blooms to show you. This has been a great plant for me. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, it's done very, very well. As you can see, it's quite long. So yeah, it lives under fairly bright light and has great, I can't tip this because it's full of water. It's got great leaves, beautiful, beautiful. This is, I wanted one of these for a really long time and it took me 3 tries to get it right. But yeah, so this is Hoya cingulatus. And the first Hoya celebrating a 2-year anniversary this month is Hoya dennisii Frida. Now, Hoya dennisii is native to the Solomon Islands, the South Solomons, and was first published in 1993 in Austrobaia by Paul Irwin Forrest and David J. Little. And the first time I saw this, and I think I saw it on Miro's channel, I wanted one because, oh boy, those leaves are just incredible. Yeah. I mean, I know I say, every Hoya I hold up, I know I say this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites, and this is one I am really glad I bought. Now, the leaves are measuring, approximately 2.5 or 6.5 centimeters. The larger ones, the smaller ones are measuring about 2.25 or 5.5 centimeters. And I'm pretty sure this one has bloomed for me. If I'm right about that, I'll put some bloom pictures over there. And it has just done really, really well. One less than perfect leaf in there. We'll get rid of that. I think that variegation is just striking. That's so, so pretty. And I should have a picture now of what it looked like when it first arrived. The leaves are on the thin side. There's a recessed central rib with some texture to the surface of the leaves, and the other veins are slightly raised. It was growing, I did have it growing right under the grow light, but when it got up to this part of the trellis, it was just too much light and the leaves were looking very pale and very, very chlorotic. So I decided to move it to lower light, and the leaves darkened up, which made the variegation really pop. And I think they are very, very pretty. Yeah, this one was a little finicky at first, but it eventually settled in and started, it's produced a lot of growth here for 2 years. So it's done really, really well. It's definitely, if this kind of leaf look appeals to you, Hoya dennisii Frida is definitely worth trying to find a source for. It's still, I think, probably a little pricey because it is so popular. but there's a reason why it's popular. Don't pay top dollar. You know me. Look around and see if you can get it at a reasonable price. But yeah, those are just beautiful leaves. I just love the whole look of the thing. It's doing well. I'm happy with it, so no complaints. This one came from Rare Herbs Garden, New Jersey, on Etsy, and this is Hoya dennisii Frida. And the next one here for 2 years isn't a Hoya, but it's a Hoya cousin, so you're going to let me get away with it. And this is Dischidia acutifolia. Now, acutifolia is native to Assam in India, to Java, Kalimantan, Maluku, and New Guinea in Indonesia, also Sulawesi and Sumatra. It's native to Laos. In Malaysia, it's native to Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak. It's native to Myanmar, to Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. And it was discovered in Malacca, which is, I believe, on the southern part of the Malay Peninsula. If I'm wrong, I'll put a correction. It'll be over here, I think. Anyway, it was first published in 1883 in the Flora of British India and was published originally by Alexander Carroll Maingay, but was republished by Joseph Dalton Hooker to fill in some missing information. So yeah, and this is acutifolia. For those of you who think that all Dischidia have tiny, tiny little leaves, that leaf that I just showed you is measuring from tip to petiole 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. This one up here is measuring at 5 or 12.75 centimeters. So yeah, this is a large-leafed Dischidia. And I think those leaves are just beautiful. I mean, let's see if I can get there a second. That's very, very pretty. And of course, I saw a picture of it with nothing in the picture to scale, so I didn't really understand quite how big the leaves were going to get. But I'm not at all disappointed. This one took about 2 weeks to settle in, and then it just started growing. And I know I keep showing it, but like those leaves are really, really pretty. It started off when it was a smaller plant underneath fairly bright light. But then as it grew, I noticed, it's got dark leaves, so it doesn't need to be under bright light. So it's in the fallout between two of my grow shelves. So it gets a much lower level of light. It's putting out new growth, as you can see in there. And it's branched, it's done all the right things. It's just beautiful. The established leaves are firm, definitely firm, getting toward the rigid. I mean, there is some give to them, but anyway. The raised central rib, raised veins that are somewhat darker than the rest of the leaf. That's what it looks like on the back. It's just done well. Because this doesn't fit the Dischidia mold in my head. This is one of my favorites. It's just grown. It's given me no problems. Even when we had the flat mite outbreak, this thing weathered it fairly well. There's a couple of the leaves have a little bit of scarring from the flat mites, but everybody else is just doing fine now that we took care of that problem. I should have a picture of what it looked like when it showed up, because I was probably being good that day. But yeah, this one's really, really pretty. It's It's really pretty. It has bloomed for me. If I remember, there were typical Dischidia blooms, so the small trumpet-shaped ones. And if I have pictures of the blooms, they'll go over here too. But I didn't check my records before I sat down. So yeah, this is done. This is a fun one. Nothing special, nothing dramatic. Ambient conditions, lower light seems to be fine with that. It is a little thirsty. I mean, it's a small vine. The leaves probably don't hold too much moisture. Yeah, it has found the reservoir. You'll need a drink soon. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Dischidia. Okay, they're all my favorites. So who am I kidding? But if I were to pick a favorite Dischidia, this would be one of them. This one came from Botanist Library on Etsy, and this is Dischidia acutifolia. And the next one up is Hoya RHM-009. And because it's a hybrid, it doesn't have a place on the planet of origin other than Rick Morier's greenhouses, labs, wherever his base is in Florida. I got this one as a thank you cutting from an online vendor. And I was always pleased to try it out. You know, I'll try out growing anything. But I'm kind of ambivalent about this one. The leaves are pretty enough. You know, there's a little bit of splash. Yeah, but it hasn't done terribly well. I mean, that's 2 years worth of growth. I think it probably came with maybe these 2 leaves originally. I should have a picture over here of what it looked like. Maybe it wants different conditions. This one does not grow in the Hoya room because it was so pokey about doing anything. I mean, after it produced this big leaf and one more up here, it's really been kind of like, you know, nothing. So I had to give over space in the Hoya room to the Hoyas that were like really growing well. So this one grows in my bedroom in the southwest facing windows. So he gets a decent amount of light. I've been keeping up with the watering. Yeah, there's moisture in there. The roots have found the reservoir. Maybe it wants warmer temperatures. But until I see some reason to give it space in the plant room, he's going to stay where he is. The leaves they're almost credit card rigid. There's a slightly recessed central rib, recessed veins, a little bit of splash, a decent green color. I don't have any complaints about the plant. It's just not impressing me. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to send it to compost until it dies, but I wish it would kind of get busy, grow. Although I am concerned if it starts sending out leaves like this. That leaf is almost 6 inches or just about 15 centimeters. So if it produced a whole bunch of those, I might be in trouble. Or even this one. That's a big leaf. Yeah, but it's just I'm unimpressed, and it needs to impress me. So yeah, I haven't noticed any pest issues. I haven't noticed any No trauma, no drama, but not much of anything else either. So, yeah, we'll keep you posted on this one. But if any of you have this and have really good success with it, let me know. I'm curious to see what it does, what it gets in your house to do better. So yeah, this one came from the Plants Our Life shop on Etsy, and this is Hoya species RHM-009. And the next one here for 2 years is my Hoya Rangsan. Now, Rangsan is believed to be some kind of hybrid. I have one story that says it's a hybrid of Hoya latifolia with an unknown father, and it was named after Mr. Rangsan, who owned the nursery. I have another story that says it's from Rangsan Island near Sumatra. And okay, those both sound good. The leaves are notoriously gorgeous and a good sized. Those that I just showed you are from petiole to tip, about 5¼ inches or 13¼ centimeters. And they've typically got, that beautiful splash, although there is some, this is that tall and awkward with less splash, some with more. Yeah. At one point, these were insanely expensive. Putting out some new growth up there, which is very cool. Some peduncles. They were highly expensive, and I just wasn't going to pay that kind of price. And then I found one at a really good price. And when it arrived, it was a big clump of plant. So it has done okay. The flat mites wailed on this one. You can see some, come on, no, we're not falling over. You can see some scarring on some of the leaves. Once we addressed that, it's been pretty smooth sailing. I had read that it had been officially classified as a latifolia, but then that turned out not to be true. Although if it did become classified as a latifolia, I would understand that completely. Absolutely latifolia leaves. So yeah, this has done well. It's been a good grower. If you like that splash, and who doesn't, then this could be something for you to search out. Even without much splash, the leaves are really, really pretty. The leaves are firm. They're rigid. They will not take to bending. It's got a slightly raised central vein, at least this leaf does, slightly raised central vein. The other veins seem to be recessed. They are measuring, that one in particular, I think I probably already measured one for you, but yeah, there's 5¼ this one looked larger, so yeah, that one's every bit of 6 inches. So yeah, they're good sized. Yeah, it's done okay. Of my latifolia, I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I have 3 latifolia. This is probably this one was a good grower right away. Hoya latifolia Sarawak, once it settled in, grew very aggressively. My outer variegated latifolia, not so much. It's a pretty plant, but it kind of does fits and starts on the growth. So yeah, that's what I know about this one. It's some kind of cross. But that's all the information I've been able to find out for right now. This one came from Plantly Addicted on Etsy, and this is Hoya species Rangsan. species Bengkulu, Rindu Rafflesia. And I showed it recently because it was blooming, and it's still on the last of that and getting ready with that peduncle. Now it's native to, and I have the note that says Rafflesia arnoldii, but native to Bengkulu on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, and it's endemic to Sumatra, meaning it grows pretty much everywhere. The leaves are very neat, very, very long lancelet, raised central vein, and 2 parallel veins, which are also raised. There's little bits of splash, and the leaves are quite long. I should have a picture of what this looked like when it showed up. And I think it has done pretty well in the interim. If I remember, it was just these two, this leaf and this leaf when it showed up. And it would look like, 2 long bunny ears sticking out of the ground. But then it put out this vine and has done pretty well since then. The blooms are really, really pretty. The colors here, these are on the way out, so it doesn't do justice to them, but I have some pictures that I'll put over here of what the blooms actually look like. This has done, once it got settled, pretty darn well. I'm pretty happy with this one. Stay. The leaves are, when they get settled in, are a good size. That one is just over 6 inches or about 16 centimeters. It's this other one over here. That is easily 6.5 inches or about 16.5 centimeters. And very pretty. This one had a little bit of trouble with flat mites too, so you'll see some scarring. But once we address that issue, it's been growing well. I think I said recently that I was going to move this to lower light because I like that color of leaves better than that color of leaves. So we're gonna, or even that's just, that leaf is growing further down. This has grown up so it's near the grow lights, so I think it's getting a bit too much sun, but it has done well. The roots have found the reservoir. It's got a fairly thin, sort of woody stem. The leaves themselves are kind of thinnish, so that they hold some moisture, but probably not a lot. There is some flex to the leaves, but I think they're just, I love that shape. That's very cool shape. Other than the flat mites, no problems, it took it a while to get settled in. So, because I transferred it from whatever it was when it arrived into pond and self-watering. And so it was just those 2 obscene rabbit ears for a while. But once it got settled, it's done well. So it likes a fair amount of light, but not terribly bright. It is kind of thirsty. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, the leaves are pretty. It's grown well. It blooms. No complaints with this one either. This one came from LA Tropica Mart on Etsy, and this is Hoya species Bengkulu Rindu Rafflesia. Next one I showed, I think it was last week, but I didn't realize it had a birthday coming up. So this is Hoya spectatissima. Now, spectatissima is native to Yunnan province, to Gengma Sien, and it grows on rocks in the karst habitat, which means they're limestone rocks that have some fissures, cracks, sometimes underground caves and caverns, and that's in south-central China. It was first collected in 2021 and published in 2023 in Phyto Keys by Someone just had a bad day. Oh, the hawk. Hawk just flew into the window on the porch here. By Binner Shui, Erfan Wang, Gang Yao, and Jiaxiang Wang. And I hope I didn't mangle their names too terribly. This is just a fun little plant. It's still blooming a week later. So that's very cool that the blossoms do last a decent length of time and are just really pretty. It's still got a very, very light scent, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. The leaves are quite handsome, remind me of Hoya Lee. And it's just been a good little steady grower. It is a little on the thirsty side. The leaves are a little plump. They're slightly pubescent, particularly on the underside. Slightly pubescent on the top, but definitely on the underside. And so it wants a decent amount of moisture. This is it's done really well. It has received less than ideal care on several occasions, but it didn't hold a grudge and it sparked right back up. So yeah, that's a good thing to know about it. It will forgive you. It doesn't pout for very long. And, you know, blossoms like that, that's just very cool. Another one I'm really glad I bought. It's growing in my standard mixture, a standard generic pond mixture. Blossoms from somebody else. A standard pond mixture in a self-watering pot. It grows fairly close to the grow lights, but I don't see any signs of sun stress. The leaves might get a little bit darker if it was in lower light, but it doesn't seem to mind the level of light that it's getting. So, you know, it ain't broke, so I'm not going to try and fix it. And yeah, it's done nicely. It's a nice little trailing plant. The vines will branch for you. Just no complaints, you know? No complaints. This has been really good. If you're looking for something that does this, spectatissima has been a really good grower for me. This one came from the Plants Are Life shop on Etsy, and this is Hoya spectatissima. Next one up, I wasn't sure what I was getting. I had seen a plant that Miro identified as Lai Chau. And so it was beautiful. He was raving about it, and I think he was absolutely right. So I tried to find species Lai Chau, and I found Lai Chau roundleaf, Lai Chau longleaf, and something called Lai Chang forest. And this is Hoya species Lai Chang forest. So I didn't exactly know what I was going to be getting, but I am not at all disappointed. Now, I found a reference to Lai Chang forest. The only reference I could find to it is on Hainan Island in China, but it doesn't, I used Google Earth and I didn't see any forests, so perhaps they're just being kind. And then I checked with somebody else, with my friend from North Austin Plant Company, and he said that he had found out that it was something sold by Hoyas. So I don't have any kind of specific location about where it's from, other than Lai Chang forest. The leaves are just beautiful. They are dark green, glossy, they are big. I'm looking at 8 inches or 20, just about 20 centimeters on that one. There's a huge leaf in here. And again, I'm looking at 9 inches or 23 centimeters. This one, once established, grew really, really well. The leaves are quite lovely, just beautiful. There is some give to the leaves. There's a recessed central rib, slightly raised outer veins. The veins are darker than the rest of the leaf. Let's see if that shows it off better down in there. And it has done very well. There is a peduncle I saw earlier in here. It has not bloomed for me yet. There is a peduncle in there. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get dried out. Yeah, it's well rooted. I'm going to have to address that issue soon. But it's a beautiful plant. It's just so neat. That dark green glossy color. It just, yeah. Oh, is that another peduncle? No, I think it's just another leaf coming in. Another peduncle, maybe? Who knows? Maybe a branch. This has given me no trouble, no difficulties. It has grown really well. It has tolerated sometimes less than perfect care. Right now, it's growing on the floor in the fallout between my southeast and southwest, no, northeast and southeast grow shelves. So it gets a decent amount of very gentle light, which probably accounts for the really dark green leaves. With luck, I've put up pictures of what it looked like when it arrived, and if I haven't by this point, they'll be appearing shortly. But yeah, I wish I knew more about it. I keep checking every once in a while, and I haven't been able to find much, but it is a stunner. It is so pretty. So yeah, I'm fairly pleased with this one. This one came from the Plants Are Life shop on Etsy, and this is Hoya species Lai Chau Forest. Next up is Hoya species NS05-055. Now, NS05-055 was first discovered in the Oro province of Papua New Guinea, and it is believed to be a unique clone of Hoya annulata. Now, Hoya annulata is native to New Guinea and Queensland, but this one seems to be unique to the Oro province. It was first published in 2005 by Nathaniel Simonson. And this has just been cool. This one was a thank you cutting. And for a long time, it was just a couple of pokey leaves down here. And again, when you transfer them to pond, it takes them a little while to set up their root system and recover from that transfer. But it has since done very well. It hasn't bloomed. And with luck, I have a picture of what it looked like, and I've put that picture over here. So the leaves are kind of neat. Definitely, if you're familiar with Hoya annulata, you'll recognize that leaf shape. But yeah, it's okay. It's nothing amazing or flashy, but it's pretty. The established leaves are about, from petiole to tip, about 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters. And that seems to be the range for them. This one is currently living in front of my southeast facing window. It's living in amongst a bunch of other plants on optimistic trellises. So it gets some good, nice morning light. Not strong light throughout the day, but it's been growing slow and steady. So I can't complain about the growth because it just does keep on growing. It's not a rampant grower, but it's done okay. It has not bloomed for me yet, and I don't see signs of pedunculage, although looks like a branch, which would be fine. Yeah, it's just done okay. It hasn't knocked my socks off, but it's pretty enough. The leaves are unique and interesting. Well, not unique because it's like annulata, but they're nice enough. They're doing well. So yeah, if that kind of leaf shape, and I don't have anything else that has that kind of leaf shape, appeals to you, then yeah, might be worth checking out. This one came from Rare Herbs Garden NJ on Etsy, and this is Hoya species NS05-055. And this next one falls in that category of plants I'm really glad I bought. This is Hoya Lai Chau roundleaf. Now, I can't find any specific reference to where this plant is from. There is a Lai Chau province in northwestern Vietnam. There's also Lai Chau City in Lai Chau province. And it's one of the least populated, most sparsely populated sections of Vietnam. So that could be where this is from. And I may have shown you a map about where that is located, but I haven't had anybody say, yeah, definitely that's where it's from. These leaves are staggeringly beautiful for me. Just amazing. And I had it on a grow shelf under grow lights, and it did okay, but to me the leaves looked a little pale. So then I moved it to lower light and got these that are just, I mean, holy moly, that's gorgeous. The original leaves near the bottom of the plant were coming in at about 5 inches or 23¾ centimeters. These that came in lower light are coming in at 6 inches or a little over 25 centimeters. Even under lower light, they have a lot of splash, are just absolutely beautiful. I have, oh yeah, it's just beautiful. That dark green color with that amount of splash is just staggering. So lower light. The leaves are firm. As they get older, they get much firmer. Almost to the rigid category. There's a raised central rib and raised side ribs. It doesn't seem to be terribly pubescent on the top or the underside, and that's the underside of the leaf. It's just a beauteous thing. I have to put that in as one of my most beautiful Hoyas. I mean, for me, this even beats Rangsan. I like the shape of the leaf. I can't think of anything I've got that's, maybe my Wilbur Graves, and I have a couple of Wilbur Graves, but that size leaf with that amount of splash and that dark green color, just beautiful. So this one's growing. I had it under grow lights. it was getting too pale. I moved it to the floor in front of one of the grow shelves so it gets some fallout light. And that's when it started producing those leaves. It is a slightly woody stem, so it doesn't hold much moisture in the stem. The leaves are almost carnosa thickness, but not quite there. They are very firm when established. These are newer leaves, so they're still getting pumped up. And it has definitely found the reservoir. It doesn't seem to be terribly thirsty, but it does want a steady supply. It has not bloomed for me yet, and I haven't noticed any signs of peduncles. But it doesn't have to bloom right away. That's fine with me. That's just beautiful. Yeah, I think it ticks all the boxes for me. As you can tell, it leaves me speechless, which is quite a feat for something or someone to do. So yes, I have nothing but good to say. No difficulties, no pest issues, no trauma, no drama. Just gorgeous leaves, just staggeringly gorgeous leaves. This one came from the Plants Are Life shop on Etsy, and this is Hoya species Lai Chau roundleaf. Question for the comments time. First of all, thanks to everybody who took the time to comment on what they were rooting for. That's always interesting to see what people have going on. Yeah, that was kind of, sometimes I'm just nosy in the questions. This week, it's a repeat of a question, but since it's based upon the wish list, so since my wish list changes over time, I'm asking it again. What's on the top of your wish list? And I'm going to include, because here's my wish list, I'm looking for Hoya NS05-009, which is named after head of the Swedish Hoya Society, Toril Nyhaus. And I'm looking for a Dischidia tomentella. I thought I had lines on them, connection for them, but that didn't work out. So that's what I have working on. So in the comments below, tell us what's on the top of your wish list currently. And that'll be, maybe it's just because I'm nosy, but we'll see what you have to say about that. So yeah. And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to click the thumbs up, like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. All three of those things help my channel grow. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available through my Amazon storefront, and there's a link in the description. I receive a small commission on the sales from items from the storefront, but it doesn't increase your price at all. If you're in the market for grow lights, if you use my code, Planted in RI, at the Sansi Grow Lights page, and there's a link in the description to that page, you'll receive a 30% discount from the prices therein. If you'd like to support the channel directly, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, where there's a thanks button down here, and YouTube handles all the processing. They take care of everything for the thanks button. I'm going to post links to a couple more videos over here on the side, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.